Uh, I don't know if DeAndre is ready because he went mute. Or
Oh,
all right, cool.
DeAndre.
There you go. There you go.
Dondre, 2 syllables.
Hey. Okay. Okay. Well.
DeAndre plays for the Lakers.
Yes. Did you hear about the Nets trying to trade Kyrie to the Lakers for Westbrook?
Hey, man, I don't think that that's going to happen because I think LeBron is good with Kai, but I don't think Kai is good with LeBron. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brother Kai is complex.
Yeah.
And I don't begrudge anyone for having their stance. We have all had to make, as men, this is actually a great conversation because being a man is very polarizing in any era, but particularly in this era, because there are so many different things that we're dealing with that our forefathers and fore uncles and cousins didn't have to deal with. We're dealing with a time where, and this is all relevant to really the book.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It is because I don't know if you brothers know this or not, but because this isn't politically great form to say right now in a time where we're still in the midst of Me Too and Time's Up and LGBTQIA plus, but manhood is under attack. I'm not sure if y'all are peeping it, but manhood is under attack. If you are a man, listen, on my channels, I post often about how steadfast I am about manhood. And where we are right now in today's society, it means that if you stand for something, you must stand against what seems to be the diametrically opposite stance. So if I stand for manhood, that must mean I stand against womanhood.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. Let's backtrack again.
Yeah.
Let's go through this again. My grandmother was a woman. My mother was a woman. My wife is a woman. I'm helping to train my daughter to be a woman. So for me, and I am in partnership with women. Because I stand for manhood does not mean I stand against womanhood. It just means that all I am, all of my being, all of my fiber is about building kings to be the best version of man we can possibly be. It's all that means. I can't grow womanhood. Why? Because I'm not a woman. I can support womanhood as a brother. I can cover womanhood as a king. I cannot grow womanhood because I'm a man. If you want to grow womanhood, you got to call on dynamic women. Now, if you want our support as kings, as men, you got that all day in spades, but I can't grow womanhood. I can only grow manhood. So if I am a man and I happen to be a straight man, which I am, it does not mean that I stand against LGBTQIA plus either. It just doesn't. It may mean that I don't agree with the way you may live your life and the choices that you may make, but it doesn't mean that I stand against it. It just means that I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't smoke weed. It don't mean that I stand against weed smokers. It just means I don't smoke weed. When I tell you I don't smoke weed, I'm not coming for anybody who does smoke weed. So again, what I'm trying to tell you is that as men, we are in a very specialized time in human history where we are navigating a bunch of battles that people have thrown us in, and really what we're really battling for is the battle of self, where we grow ourselves into the men that we were intentioned to be when we were created. And everybody is throwing us into all of their battles. Women are saying, well, we can't trust, we look at that guy right there. He raped this woman. Or look at this one guy right here. He assaulted a woman. I can't believe that a man would do that. Excuse me, ma'am. Let me correct you. A man wouldn't do that. A grown male might, but a man wouldn't do that. See, you don't even know what you're looking at. You don't even know how to identify or distinguish us from those guys right there who simply have penises. Simply because he has a penis does not make him one of us. If you grow yourself physically, but don't grow yourself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, you're not one of us. You're one of them. You're one of the grown males. Because a man grows himself in all of those areas. You got to grow yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. People ask me all the time, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with my wife. She's been an actress for a number of years. She's a dynamic director now. People ask me all the time, bro, y'all don't travel with security? I'm like, Negro, I am the security. If you step in here and you are incorrect with what's going on with my wife, I will not.
Warrior mode. Warrior mode,
I'm
like
gonna
you
knock
said.
you. I'm gonna knock you into manhood. You feel me?
Yeah.
I grew up in Brooklyn. I boxed with one of the best, James Buddy McGirt, who won titles at 140 and 147. Now one of the most prolific trainers in the game of boxing. I've done Krav Maga. I am now about to train at Jiu-Jitsu. Negro, step out of line, see what happens. That's not to say that I'm asking for any challengers, but guess what? I'm on duty over here, bro. I gotta look after my wife and my kids. Come for any one of them and watch it happen. In the book, I talk about the two versions of myself, Brooklyn Dre and Disciple Dondré. Don't be in the room with Brooklyn Dre.
Yeah.
Don't be in the room with Brooklyn Dre. Don't let this lighter skin fool you. Don't let none of that. None of that. When I say I grew up in Brooklyn and I grew up in the street, I'm not talking about the Disneyland that you see on TV right now. Nope. At 6, my father kidnapped me. At 8, I saw the first person I get killed. At 12, my father taught me how to be an effective cheater. At 14, I had a dude put a gun to my head while they robbed my best friend of his leather bomber jacket. Bro, I done been through this, man. Don't let what I do as an actor on television fool you into thinking that I ain't ready for this war game. I don't live it first. It's not my first option, but if I gotta go there, somebody ain't gonna make it.
Hey.
Somebody ain't gonna make it. If you come up in my house, don't worry about how many weapons I got. Believe me, don't make a difference how many you bring. I got enough for everybody. Because I gotta make sure my wife and my children make it. I am a godly, righteous man. What does that mean? That means I'm in the business of growing all things. But in the midst of protection, I will cut down what's trying to cut down my loved one. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Malcolm and Martin, I'll give you both of them.
Preaching the word there, brother.
As a man, that's what we gotta be. We gotta be equal parts Malcolm and equal parts Martin. Matter of fact, if you really want to get specific about this, I say I am Mecca Malcolm. When Brother Malcolm took his pilgrimage over to Mecca, he came back differently. Matter of fact, just to pay homage, I've never grown my joint like this, ever. Paying homage to Brother Malcolm, I'm in my Malcolm, my Mecca Malcolm right now. This is just for Brother Malcolm right here. When he came back from Mecca, what he realized was, yo, all white people are not my enemy, because I had a bunch of bros that I prayed with over there that were white. They didn't share my color. This is what I got from that. They didn't share my color, but they shared my consciousness. We got brothers that share our color and don't share our consciousness. Now, who is that? Is that an enemy of our position, or is that an ally of our position? He can't, if he is diametrically opposed to what we stand for, that might make him an enemy until he changes his consciousness. My father, who recently passed away, was FOI. Did security for Minister Farrakhan, mosque in Brooklyn. My father went to jail for manslaughter when I was 13, which is code for murder. Got out when I was 26. I did what the street taught me how to do, which is when somebody causes you pain, cause them pain. So I told my father, I said, if I ever see you again, I'm gonna kill you. Now, just to put this in context, I was 26, I was on All My Children at the time. So I wasn't even a knucklehead at this point. But just to show you, when you go unfathered and the streets father you, you will lean on that. That's why it's so important for all of us to be fathered. Because our fathers give us messaging that we carry with us for the rest of our lives until we receive different messaging. So at 26 years old, I'm on All My Children. I go back into the hood. By this time, I bought myself a beautiful home in Montclair, New Jersey. I drive back into Brooklyn, find my father who just did a 13-year bid, who basically went to jail for murder. And now I just told him, if I ever see you again, I'm gonna kill you. Think about that. Think about that. That's what the streets do to us when we go unfathered. Look at our brothers who are in gangs. Those brothers are not monsters. Those are potential men that go without messaging. We don't have enough men that build other men. Think about our yesteryear, right? When we endeavored to go into a specific field, what did you have to do in order to go into that field? You had to go into an apprenticeship. Somebody had to usher you into that space. Let me draw you this analogy. I talked to all the brothers across the country. It's been dynamic, bro. Like, it's my purpose work in life. I tell people all the time that the acting is my passion, but activation is my purpose, man. I live for this. Like being able to talk with you, bros, like I live for this. I live for this. Like I literally I had 3 interviews prior to this, stepped through those, told my wife, I said, babe, I said, I got a book club with Real Dads Network. I said, I'm taking a king nap. Real talk. Why? Because I knew that whatever was going to pass through me was going to attach itself to you. And whatever passes through me and it attaches to you, I got to make sure that it's something that grows you and doesn't diminish you. So I needed to have full faculties, which was a subtle reminder to her, I can't give you my bandwidth. So don't give me nothing that's going to stress me out. Don't give me nothing that's going to stretch me out. Don't do nothing. Let me get my water. Let me get my veggies. Let me have my crown on right when I get in front of these kings. Let me water them correctly. I even sent a message to, hold on, bro, just so y'all know, this is like super legit about this game right here. I sent a message to my son, who's 12, my daughter, who's 17. I said, babies, I'm taking the king nap because I have a book club to do on Zoom at 4 p.m. Call mom if you need something. Now, just to be clear, I do everything around here, bro. I cook, I create, I fix, I build, I protect, I serve. I do everything around here. When it is appropriately time, I will tell everyone, hey, not now. Because I got work to do in this space right here. And they all know what it is. Nobody violates that. I did that thinking of you all. What I want you to do is to do the exact same thing. When you come from this, when you're done with this, your assignment is to grow other kids. Look, when you leave here, your assignment is to grow another set of kings. That's your assignment. You can't grow another king unless your crown gets fixed. You got to make sure yours is straight before you straighten someone else's. But it automatically becomes your assignment once you get marching orders, once you get information and instruction. And that's what this book is. This book had to serve as the information and instruction that I didn't get from my father, because my father, may he rest in peace, I just lost him 3 weeks ago.
Man.
I told my father, I was 26. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna kill you. We were estranged for 20 years. So at 46, I'm now 52. At 46, my daughter comes downstairs and says to me, Dad, do you know where your father is? I knew that God was sending me a messenger that I couldn't send away. That God was telling me, bro, it's time. It's time. You gotta heal this up. You can't be a healer of men and you haven't healed yourself. And you haven't healed your father. See, many of us have been abandoned by our biological fathers. And what we do is we wage war with him, not realizing that not only is it our assignment to grow ourselves, it's also our assignment to love our fathers. Whew. Bro, if you can love your father through him abandoning and abusing you, you can build any man. It's your final test in what kind of king you say you are. Through your mother's narrative about how awful your father was, because your mother is going to give you information about how you should be at war with your father, because that's her position. That's not your position. You fighting a completely different battle. Watch this. At 46, when I had that conversation with my daughter, I'm flying from here. I'm in Southern California. I'm flying back to New York, get ready to fly into Brooklyn to find my father so we can reconcile. I'm on the plane. I'm literally sitting there. I'm up against the window. Real talk. I'm sitting there. I'm up against the window. I'm turning away from the person sitting next to me so they don't think I'm crazy. I said, God, I said, listen, man, you're going to have to help me with this right here, because I feel like as soon as I see this dude, I'm gonna just steal on him. I'm gonna punch him dead in the jaw. I have been trying to get rid of this. I don't know how. You're gonna have to help me. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I could hear it like I was actually having a conversation, like I'm having a conversation with you. I could hear God say, Dondré, you don't need your father like a son needs their father, because you're already a father twice over. You need your father like you need your brother. I didn't know what that meant until we finally started talking. My father and I are both men of faith. We were of different faith, but we recognized each other as men of faith. And that we were matriculating into manhood at the very same time. What I could clearly hear God say was, stop looking at your father like the 70-year-old version of himself that abandoned and abused you, and start looking at him like the 7-year-old version of himself that was also abandoned and abused. Because that's your brother. That's why your father didn't show up for you the way you wanted him to, the way you needed him to, because he was also abandoned and abused. And when I saw that, I began to have something critically key in reconciling with my father, and that was empathy. Because I saw my father as this damaged, traumatized little boy, the same way I saw myself. Just recently, I was in New York 2 months ago shooting my pilot for a show. And my father was in the hospital. Essentially, it was his deathbed. I was there for 2 weeks. I went to the hospital every day for 2 weeks, spending time talking to my father, but interviewing my father. I needed to get to the bottom of a whole bunch of things. I said to my father, you can hear my baby Rottweiler in the back.
I was like, do I have a dog? What's like, when we get a dog?
my boy is a little over a year old now. He's over 100 pounds. He's the best dog in the world.
Yeah.
That's my dude. So I said to my father, for the first time in my life, 52 years old, my mother said something to me about my father that didn't have venom attached to it. She said, tell your father I said, hang in there.
Mm.
I told my father, I said, Pop, my mom said, hang in there. He was laying down. He was looking at me. He turned away from me and looked to the ceiling, like looking up at Allah. Because again, my father was Muslim. He reached over for his phone, grabs his phone, struggling to put on his glasses. He was beginning to lose his touch. He goes scrolling through his phone. I have no idea what he's doing. He finally happens on this thing that he's looking for. He turns the phone around to me, shows me a picture that's on the phone. It's a picture of my mom at 17 years old. It's the age that my mom had me. And I said, wow. He said, no disrespect. Sometimes I just look at this picture and I kiss it. He said, son, I've never been a stupid man. But at that time in our life, there was a lot of pain around me, a lot of ignorance around me. I never had anybody to teach me how to be a man. And it was so interesting to me because what I realized before I wrote this book was that in order for us to become great at anything, we need information and instruction. Every time I talk to brothers, I ask them, I go, raise your hand if you're a basketball fan. Everybody raises their hands. Name me your favorite players. They name me all the same guys. The Kobe's, the LeBrons, the MJs, whether it's, Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. And all of those answers are right. Name me the one thing that they all had in common that if they didn't have it, they never would have become the great player that they became. Name me the one thing. And they all say, I'll say again?
Instruction?
Period.
Yeah.
Which is coaching.
Good coach.
Right?
Yeah.
Coaching. So if none of, let me see, my wife just walked. So without coaching, which is information and instruction, you never become great. Every single one of those players all had natural ability. They all had natural ability. All of them. They would have been good players. They were already good players with natural ability. They were already good players with drive and tenacity. But they became great players when they got information and instruction. Well, okay, since we know that it takes coaching, which is information and instruction, to become a great basketball player, why is it that we don't think that we need information and instruction to become great men? Who said that? Whoever said that? Who told us that? Because here's what happened. I'm going to tell you why. In the book, I talk about the moth. Who remembers that?
Say the moth?
Moth. Man of the house. That's an acronym.
Oh,
Man of the house.
Okay. Yeah.
Man of the house. We get robbed of being boys. You can't matriculate into manhood unless you graduate from boyhood. So many of us get robbed of our boyhood far too early. I remember being told that I was the man of the house when I was 8. Homie. 8? I'm the man of the house? How? Me? Me. 8? I'm the man of the house? Okay, well, let me break this down. Since nobody broke it down for me, let me try to break it down. What does man mean? Okay, it must have something to do with my penis. What else?
That's first, huh?
That must be first, because that's all I got right now. That's all I have. Okay. I ain't got no job. I'm 8. I'm breathing. Okay, so penis, breathing. Okay, got that. I do fight. I'm not sure who I can beat right now at 8 besides other 8 and 9-year-olds. I did knock out that one 10-year-old cap. But I'm not sure how many 10-year-olds are coming in here to like pose a threat to my mom. But okay. All I got right now is the penis. So maybe that's what it takes in order to be a man. Penis. Okay, got it. That's it. Game over. That's it. Thanks for coming out.
That's
Thanks for
definitely
participating, guys. That's it. You got a penis? Okay. My man. If nobody ever tells you what it is, put it this way, raise your hand if somebody told you that as a man, when you become a man, that your assignment now is to grow other men and protect all the women and children of your life. Raise your hand if somebody ever told you that.
was flabbergasted at the service element too. You know.
Yes.
I had
yes.
like when you labeled that with that, I ain't heard that either.
Don't nobody ever tell you that. Nobody ever tells you that because they don't know themselves. They never got the information and instruction themselves. So subsequently, because they were never given the information and instruction, they couldn't give you something they were never given. That was the first day that I forgave my father, because my father did not have anything to give me. My father gave me game at age 12. My father was a street hustler. So a year before he went in to prison for manslaughter, we driving around his brand new Lincoln Mark V. Man, I'm dating myself. So we driving this Mark V, it's cold in a mud, bro. White, blue bold stripe going across, tire cut out in the back, digging in the scene, gangster link.
Yeah.
Bro, we cold. We rolling down the street, everything is looking at us. It's one of the first times I was like, I understood the power of a nice ride. I was like, when I get older, I gotta get me a nice ride. Sitting in, riding shotgun, my father turns to me, he says, I love your mother. I would do anything for her. I was like, wow. As a child, that's all you ever want to hear. Your parents loved each other. In the very next breath, my boy looks out the window and cat calls out to a woman across the street. Now watch what just happened. While he didn't tell me the messaging, peep the messaging, focus on the messaging. The messaging that I got from that was, you can love one woman, but lust after many. Come on, bro. At age 12, I was already being groomed to cheat. See, you got to go back on the footage of your life, like grainy surveillance footage. You got to rewind all your tapes to figure out how you arrived as this dude. How did I arrive at this dude? Why did I cheat? How did I get? And that literally was how it happened. Prior to my wife, I had a girlfriend of 8 years, and I cheated on her. I loved her to death. I actually thought I was going to marry her. I cheated on her, and not only did it break her heart, but guess what? It broke my heart too. Mm-hmm. It broke my heart too. See, sisters don't want to hear that we get hurt based on our lack of performance too. They just think we trifling niggas, and that's it. And it just stops right there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. That's not true. Many people do things in a state of unconsciousness, and they do it often. Yeah, you understand what you're doing at the time. You don't understand the ramifications. Mm-hmm. You don't understand how to do better, right? So I talk about this all the time. Gigantic difference between intention versus impact. Y'all better write that down. Man, listen, I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I'm gonna take somebody better put it in your damn phone, write it on a piece of paper, tattoo it on your damn phone. Impact versus intention. Listen. If you don't take anything away from this 2-hour talk, take this: intention versus impact. Does my impact match my intention? What do you mean, Dondré? Glad you asked. My intention is to be a great man, but without the information and instruction to be such, the impact will be devastating because I haven't been built into a great man, because I don't have the information and instruction. I can have the intention to love a woman, but the impact will be that I will devastate her because I don't know how to avoid cheating on her when my penis comes calling. Intention versus impact. Every single day, I'm asking myself, King, does your impact match your intention? I want to be a great father, okay? There's a pretty simple way to figure out whether you're having that impact. Go interview your children. Once a month, both of my children are a part of my accountability partners. Son, daughter, how are you experiencing your father? Is there anything that you would change in how you're being fathered? Is there anything that you would change in our relationship? Because your children are going to tell you who you are. Dad, you know, when you said such and such and such to me, that really hurt my feelings. Wow. I said that? Yeah, you said that when you were really angry. You know what? I didn't even mean that. I said that out of anger. But that's not really how I feel. So here we go again. My intention was to love my child, but based on not being able to properly deal with my anger, I said something out of that anger, and the impact was I devastated my child unnecessarily because I couldn't control my response. Hear this. This is connected to intention versus impact. Write this down. You don't have to control your emotions. You have to control your responses. Woo! Boy, listen. Too often, everybody's like, man, you got to control your anger, man. You got to control your anger. No, King. You can't control your anger. You're not even supposed to control your anger. Your anger, listen, if you were supposed to control your emotions, God never would have given them to you. You missed that one. If you were supposed to control your emotions, if you weren't supposed to have emotions, you know, man, you too emotional. What they really mean is you're unable to control your responses. It's not that you're too emotional. It's that you are unable to control your responses. I'm gonna give it to y'all 100. Me and my wife, my queen, we've been together for 24 years. My wife is from the south side of Chicago, bro. I'm from Brooklyn. My wife will often say something that will set me on fire. I'm just giving it to y'all 1,000. And my bad. Maybe all of y'all got perfect wives. Maybe y'all are all perfect. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just telling you, maybe I'm the only one in the room where my wife is going to say something that's going to set me on fire. Guess what? There are going to be things that I say that will set her on fire. She has to control her responses. My job is to be a better model for my home that everyone can mirror. So when my wife does say something that sets me on fire, I'm feeling an emotion. What's my emotion? I could be angry. I could be sad. Whatever those things are, my job is to control my response. My wife to this day still may not even realize why I try not to curse. I say I don't curse, but from time to time, you will hear something. I'm still a human being. I'm made of flesh, right? Flesh in and of itself is imperfect. So there's no such thing as a perfect human being. I make mistakes all day, every day. My job as a man is to minimize my mistakes. The reason why I don't curse or my intention is not to curse is this. No loving thing has ever been said to a person while cursing. Watch this. When a baby is born, while you're holding this baby who is infinitely beautiful, what do you say? Oh, you're the most beautiful mother I ever. You would never do that. You would never do that. You would never do that. You would never do that because you know that you would be violating that baby's spirit by using that language, even knowing that that baby can't even understand you right now. But that language is energy. The baby doesn't understand language. What the baby understands is energy. That's why you would never say that. What we've been conditioned to do is to give ourselves permission. Well, she's a grown woman now. She can handle this. So I'm going to just cuss at her. She cusses at me. So I'm going to give myself permission to cuss at her. Feel it? I'm going to cuss at my children because my mother cussed at me. See it? So we got to break certain cycles that were given to us for the sake of building our kingdom. Now, I'm not telling you any of this out of judgment. I'm giving it to you out of assessment. As the king, you are the first line of defense in being a model that everyone around you can mirror. So unless you want your child, if it's okay for your 12-year-old son to walk around calling people mother and calling women bees and all of that, don't do it. Because you are the model that he's going to mirror. So when he does mirror it, don't be pissed off. If you can accept him speaking the way you speak, then okay. But if you can't, stop. Because kids don't listen, they look. Kids don't listen, they look. They take cues off of what you do, not what you say. If you sit here, you light up a cigarette, you sit there and you tell your son, hey, if I ever see you smoking a cigarette, I'm gonna take your damn head off. Too late. You already endorse cigarette smoking because you already put one to your lips, lit up.
And you stressing them out.
And you stressing them out, dude. You should, guess what? And if you don't believe it, ask yourself this question. When it was done around you, was it stressing you out? Yep. It was stressing you out. The only reason why we don't talk about it is because we grew up hearing that if you couldn't take certain things, you were a punk. That's the reason why we don't talk about our traumas. Because we were taught, if you ever talk about something that damages you, that diminishes you, that hurts you, that you're a punk. So what you grew up doing was taking in all of the toxicity around you into your being and never releasing them.
That's got me thinking about when you were talking about how people name sexual assault, homosexual experiences,
Yes.
and the connotations that has on brothers who experience that, and
right.
the way that kind of shapes the way that they define what happened to them and how they move in the world.
That's right. That's right. So watch this. If you had, let's say you were assaulted, sexually assaulted when you were a child. And that sexual assault came at the hands of another male. That does not make you homosexual. That's what happened to you. That's not who you are. And often what we have been told is, oh, so you, and now here's the other tricky part. Let's say that you were sexually assaulted, you were a child, your body is confused because all your body is reacting to is stimulus. So let's say you actually were aroused during the sexual assault.
Yeah.
Now now you're saying to yourself, well, you were turned on by that. So that must mean that you're gay. It does not. It means that your body was responding to stimuli. That's it. It does not make you that. That's what happened to you. That's not who you are. And the reason why we're having this discussion is because it's a taboo discussion among black men. We never have this discussion. And we go to our graves with certain things that have happened to us, never talking about them. Tears are toxins that are allowed to pass out of our body. So when you cry, watch this. If you ate something and the level of toxicity that was in that food was too much, your body is intuitive. It knows that it needs to get rid of it. So what does it do? It makes you want to regurgitate what you ate, right? You would never swallow that vomit, right? Because you know that whatever's coming out of you is supposed to come out of you. Okay, well now look at your tears. Your tears are the vomit of the emotional toxins that you have taken in that your body is trying to get rid of. And when you cut off your tears, you're actually man, y'all better stop playing with me, bro. Your tears are your emotional toxins that you need to get rid of, bro. It does not make you less of a man. It makes you less of a man for not crying because you don't have the understanding and awareness that what you're doing is self-care. This is your own wellness. I've joked around with my wife on a couple of occasions. Hey, listen, I'm going to outlive you. I'm going to outlive you. Watch this. Here's why it's so funny. When you look at elderly couples, the woman looks vibrant. She's walking. She's up ahead of this dude, damn near 2 blocks. She got to stop. She's looking for this dude. He's in a walker, a wheelchair,
Yeah.
a scooter, this decrepit. He's leaned over. Why? Because this dude did not have no self-care, bro. He did not have no self-care. Woman done everything. She done went and got a massage. She got her nails done. She got her temples. She done sat and talked with her girls. Tonight, my wife is going to go meet with some of her sisterhood. How often do we meet with our brotherhood? Come on, bro.
Got me thinking about the Happy Wife, Happy Life chapter.
And let me tell you what, the reason why I titled that chapter Happy Wife, Happy Life is because it is absolute garbage. It's utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. Go to when you get an opportunity after this, I want you go to my digital series, Male versus Man, on YouTube. I interviewed my brother Will Smith, and Will said something. This is a part of what my chapter is. Will said, "I retired from trying to make Jada happy."
Yeah.
Negro. Will Smith has enough money and enough resources. If he can't make,
He can't do it.
Bro. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing. Y'all see? Y'all playing again. Y'all playing again. If Will Smith, who is one of the most desired dudes in society, got enough money to move heaven and earth, he named his property Her Lake after his wife. If he ain't got enough tools and tricks to make his wife happy, we all in trouble. You cannot make your wife happy, bro. You can't do it. And guess what? I'm going to give you something. I'm going to free you tonight. It's not even your assignment. I'm going to sit and let that marinate for a second. Because your whole life, you've been lied to that it is your responsibility to make your woman happy. You cannot. Have you ever spoken to a woman before? Are you crazy? Have you ever spoken to your mother before? Have you ever spoken to your wife before? Bro, my daughter is 17 years old, bro. Already I'm like, wow. At 17. And she lives in the suburbs behind a gate. Homie, that's a different wiring, homie. You cannot make that happy. You can't. It's not even your assignment. It's not your assignment. Making your wife happy is your wife's assignment. Making you happy is your assignment. Now, you can accentuate your wife's happiness. But remember, they got to have that already. If they're a miserable person without money, they're going to be a miserable person with money. If they complaining about everything under the sun without no money, with money, they just going to find another set of things to complain about. Trust me. I've been around a whole bunch of them. I know some women, I actually coach a few of them. They got money to buy every Gucci, Christian Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, Louis Vuitton, all of them. They got all of it. They got all of it. Miserable as all get out. Because it don't have nothing to do with that. It don't have nothing to do with that. Go to Jamaica, see people living in shanties, don't even have teeth and smiling. What's that about? Ain't got no Louis Vuitton. Ain't got no veneers. Yet smiling. What's that about? What is it about? You live in a $13 million house. You got every designer bag there is. You got every car that you could possibly have. And yet you are miserable as any person who's living in a cardboard box. What is that about? I told my wife the other day, we were talking about something, and I could feel the weight of a couple of things that were happening around me, threatening to compromise my peace. My wife said, "Babe, you all right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, I just right now, I feel like it's coming from my peace, and I can't do it. I'm at a point in my life right now, 52 years old. Anything that threatens to compromise my peace, if you threaten to compromise my peace, peace out. And you could be anybody. 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 If you threaten to compromise, look, bro, there is no mission on the face of this earth like the mission of a Black man in America. There's nothing more dangerous. There's nothing more sinister. There's nothing more marginalizing. There's nothing more villainizing. There's nothing more dangerous than the walk of a Black man in America. Even our sisters don't have, now we're not in the business of comparing pain, but let's just be real. The white man doesn't see the Black woman as a physical threat that needs to be extinguished. He'll slap her. But a black man coming down the street, oh man, I got to shoot him. A black police officer who had a beef, whose girlfriend cheated with the black athlete in school, I'm getting ready to do some get back. The black dude that intimidated him before he got a gun and a badge, I'm gonna fix that today. Society making laws about how to target black men and put them in prison, voter rights, all of that. That's about the fear of black men. No walk more dangerous than the black man in America. So all day long, I'm already having my peace compromised. I'm not coming home to do the same thing. I'm not coming home to do the same thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to my brother's house to do the same thing. I'm not going to my sister's house to do the same thing. I ain't going to my mama's house to do the same thing. Mama, I love you, but I'm gonna have to love you from 3,000 miles away. Because you got something you gotta fix. That beef that you have with my father don't have nothing to do with me. Nothing. I look like him. That's not my fault. That's your fault, because you picked him. Okay, come on, come on. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. That's not my fault. That's your fault. You picked him, not me. If you want to be angry at somebody, and this is where the hostility comes from with some of our mothers. And I'm saying this because I already know what it is, bro. We got a few narratives in our community. Our moms, some of our moms are mad at themselves, but don't know how to deal with it. So it comes out on you because you're the closest thing to them. And so we get, can you imagine? Think about what that, do you know that I fell out of love with black women for a time in my life because of my discourse with my mother? Yo, that's a critical thing, man. You got to examine that. That's all the stuff that it takes to navigate becoming a black man. How does watch this. I tell folks all the time, my daughter's 17 years old. I can't teach her how to be a woman. That's my wife's job. What I can do is teach her how to be in a loving relationship with a man. I can teach her what kind of language activates a man. I can teach her what kind of language deactivates a man. What kind of language is disrespectful to a man. So I can teach her how to be in relationship with a man. That's my assignment. I am, as her father, I'm the first love of my daughter's life. The question only becomes now, what did the first love of your life do to your heart? As a son, the first love of your life is your mother. So the question becomes, what did the first love of your life do to your heart? If your father leaves and your mother is telling you that you ain't ish because you look like him, guess what? Now you fall out of love with the first love of your life because she just devastated you with that kind of talk. You don't think that that's going to come out later on in your relationship with a black woman? Absolutely. You just don't know it's happening. She says something that reminds you of what your mother said to you, man.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Activation.
Man, that's activation. She don't even know she's dealing with a time bomb. She has no idea. And you don't even have any idea because you're unconscious that it even happened. So you don't even know how to fix it. You don't even know how to fix the part of you that's broken because you don't even realize what's broken. How you gonna fix a car and you don't know that the carburetor is busted? So you start putting air in your tire, thinking that's what's going to fix the car. Negro, your tires are fine. You got to diagnose what the problem is in order to fix the vehicle. Same thing with us. What is our problem? So that we can fix who we are. I can hear it right now. Well, Dondré, I ain't broken. Yeah, you are. If you human, you are. If you Black in this country, you are. It's not a question of whether you're broken. It's only a question of to what degree are you broken and what specifically about you is broken. That's it, bro. That's it.
So Dondré,
if I did, yeah, go ahead.
You dropped a lot of jewels. Listen, I have like 4 or 5 pages of notes, man. You're not getting these gems back, I'm telling you. You're not getting these gems back.
I love it.
You're not getting them back, I'm telling you.
These notes.
You dropped a lot of powerful gems, man.
You ain't getting these gems back.
You ain't getting them back.
Listen, we're gonna open. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Anyone had any questions on or did he answer all of them? Because you were going. I'm looking through. It's funny. I was looking through my question list. You were hitting them suckers.
Hey man, because they're universal to us.
Yeah.
They're universal to us.
Dondré, I'm going to ask you a question. The concept, it's a powerful concept. Where did the concept come from, male versus man? Because that it's just huge in terms of everything that it covers. How did you come up with that concept?
Yeah, so great question. I got tired of people lumping me in the same category of other brothers that weren't doing a fourth of what I was doing.
Come on now. Yes.
Okay. So man is a title, bro. That's a title. Like in the military, you got titles. You got lieutenant, you got commander, you can't call a private and a general by the same title. That's the reason why they're different titles. So I got tired of being a general, and because people didn't understand the difference between privates and generals, I was getting pissed off. I'm like, this dude is a private. This dude ain't got nothing in common with me but his penis. That's the only thing we got in common. That's it. I take care of my wife. I take care of my children. I don't just take care of the woman in my life. I take care of the women in my life. Any woman that's in my life, any woman that's in my phone, and there's a bruh, I could go down here and Price is Right wheel this joker right here and be spinning. And you see all these women in my phone, and every single one of them got the same story. That brother right there is 100. That brother right there pulled me up when I felt like I didn't want to pull myself up. That dude right there, that brother right there, serves me the way I ain't never been served in my life. They all got the same story.
Yeah.
Same story. I got tired of having the same title. You can't call a male and a man are absolutely two different things. God chose whether we were going to be males. When you're born, the doctors look at you, they figure out what box to check on the birth certificate. They look for two things. Oh, he's got a penis, okay? And he's breathing. Awesome, male. That's it. That's all it took. So to have a penis and a pulse was all it took to be a male. But in order to be a man, you got to have purpose and precision. What is purpose? Purpose is, and this is for all of us, males look to be served while what? Men look to be of service. So every man is a servant leader. That's your purpose. What's your precision? Your precision is, how well do I do that? How well do I do that? And every day, it's your job to look at how well you do that. There should be no critic bigger, better, more discerning than yourself about your performance. So if somebody comes to you and says, yo, bro, you ain't getting it, that shouldn't be a surprise to you. You'd be like, you know what? I absolutely agree, and I'm actually working on that, but I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Right? There are times often where, somebody might, bring you something and bring something to your attention, but they don't have the gift of language, right? So I tell people all the time, like, look, I've been coaching my kids since they were 4 years old in all of the sports that they play. Every coach usually has the same baseline of information. The difference between one coach and another is not knowledge, it's language.
Steal your words. It does something to us or does something for us.
That's right, my bro.
Right?
That's right, bro. You either have protein language or you got kerosene language. You feel me? So a great coach, it's not about his knowledge, it's about his language. Can I use language that will activate and unlock my player? That's what it's all about. People say, when they tell me about like counseling, they go, when you say certain things in a way that like I can understand them. Like I've had other people explain this, in a specific way, but when you explain it, it just feels really simple. Like, where does that come from? And I tell them all the time, it's very simple. I got it from coaching my kids. I have had to try to come up with the kind of language that will be so rudimentary that a 4-year-old can understand it, that a 5-year-old can understand it, that a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old can understand it and be activated by it, be unlocked by it. So I've been practicing this craft for years. They're almost a decade of coming up with language that will be so rudimentary that anyone can grasp it. So that's where all of that came from.
What would be, we got a question from the chat.
Donald.
Yeah, Donald asked, he wants your take on masculinity and Black masculinity and the point of differences, if and how they exist, and will there ever be an aligning of this as just masculinity?
Yeah, so the quick answer to will there ever be an aligning of all of that is, in my humble opinion, I believe that masculinity is, you can see that every day people are redefining all the things that we thought we had an understanding of, right? What I want you to understand is, don't waste your time trying to get people to agree with you. You feel me? You're going to die doing it. You are going to die trying to convince people that masculinity is a part of this construct of being a man, right? So let's look at it this way. Males look to be served while men look to be of service, right? So what we're saying is that manhood is really about your dedication to being a servant. Now, you and I both know that we've got brothers in our community that are uber masculine. And then you got a couple bros that are not so masculine.
Yeah.
They wearing high water pants and pink socks and sage cologne and all this other kind of stuff. And we're going, that's y'all walking the line of femininity. I don't know what all of this is about. But I am not going to try to fix you, change you, rearrange you. What I need you to do is to be on board with the fact that manhood is about service. Because we got some brothers that are in the LGBTQIA plus community and that are dynamic men based on their service.
Yes, yes.
That's another, masculinity is a different conversation. You feel me? So we got to get focused on the first part of the conversation, which is the most important part. Let's identify all the men first, the ones that are doing the work of building our community. Because watch this. Okay, now I'm gonna give you the juxtaposition, right? Let's look at some of our bros that are gangbanging in the street. Uber masculine dudes. Men. Uber masculine.
So yeah.
Men. I'm not gonna call you a man. I'm gonna call you a masculine male, but I'm not gonna call you a man. Why? Because you are a taker of life. A man is a builder of life. A woman is a giver of life because she's the first incubator. A man is a builder of life. So this conversation, we're wasting our time with the masculine. That's a part of, we're wasting our time. It's a pointless conversation. It's a pointless conversation because now we got to start. What if we just start trying to measure how masculine you are? Well, bro, I looked at you and you about a 6 on the masculine scale. So I'm gonna need you to come up to about an 8 before I can really look at you like a man. It's pointless. It's pointless. We're wasting time. We're wasting valuable bandwidth on a misnomer, on something that actually does us no good. Watch this. The reason why many of us are concerned about it is because we're concerned that, number one, because we are masculine, we're like, well, call me a man because I'm masculine. These other cats that ain't so masculine, I don't know if we're going, because I'm a part of the man club. These cats right here. Okay. So now this is about our ego in us being the alphas in the man category. Who's the real alphas? That's ego, right? Then the second thing that we're worried about our sons. I had an interesting conversation with my son. He's 12, right? I told you. And we were talking about Lil Nas X. Now, I told him, I said, this is really tragic because my generation had Nas. We both had Nas. I had this Nas, and this is your Nas. You feel me? I said, you got Lil Nas X, I had Nas. I played we played this song. The song is called Industry Baby.
Yeah.
By Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow. When I play this song in my car, the sound is incredible. Even some of the most of the lyrics in it, dope. I can vibe with that. I can get with that. Look at the video. Oh my God. Has anyone seen the video?
I hadn't seen the video. I've been seeing.
Don't see the video. The video will do something to your psyche. The video is literally, he gets locked up in prison. They're in pink, overalls, and they're doing stuff. It's all, I'm gonna just say, it's all gay dudes in prison, and they doing stuff. Like literally, it's almost like a celebration. yeah, lock me up. Because if I get locked up, I'm gonna be locked up in there with all of these, you know. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. Now, unbeknownst to me, my son had actually seen the video.
Mm.
And I said, now I was like, wait, what? But what came out was, oh, you did? Oh, okay. Inside, I was like, oh no! Oh no! What came out was, oh, interesting. You did? So tell me your take on it. Inside, I'm like, ah! What came out was, yeah, let's talk about that, bro. Remember, control your response. What was going on inside was my emotions. The outside was my response. My response was, yeah, let's talk about that. How'd you feel about that? He was like, I thought it was creepy. I was like, why? That doesn't even have anything to do with the song. Like, I thought it was stupid. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Inside, I'm like, yeah, my man. All right. Right? So now he and I can actually play Industry Baby in the car and appreciate the sound. And not about anybody's agenda. Because he's not buying into the agenda. He's just listening to the sound.
Yeah.
Right? Biz Markie made a song, may he rest in peace, called Picking Boogers. We didn't like the song because we necessarily liked picking boogers or anybody picking boogers around us. We were invested in the sound. The sound of the music was dope. We were singing along with that. We were just the sound, not a message that was behind what the title was and all of that. It didn't make us pick boogers more. It didn't make us like eating boogers. It didn't do any of that. You feel me? You see where this is going? Yeah. So what we got to start doing is be very specific about what our battles are, because we do have to look after some of the brothers and sisters, not some of the brothers and sisters, all of the brothers and sisters that are in the LGBTQIA plus community, because, and here's why, as a man, our assignment is every living being. To let everyone know you have safety. I am a covering. Like I talk about in the book, a man is a walking tree. Trees are covering. Trees provide oxygen so that people breathe better. Trees give people food in the form of fruit. I have to be a walking tree to everyone around me. Now watch this. If I don't agree with those in the LGBTQIA plus community, my job is not to say, I don't agree with you. My job is to say, here's what I stand for. I understand what you stand for, and I respect that. You have that right. Here's the knowledge I want to give you, blah, 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 blah. Then what I want to do is I want to model what I want them to mirror, but they won't mirror what I'm modeling if I'm shaming what they're doing. Because if I immediately go for we got to beat, come on, bro. Listen, bro, we got to play chess. Don't stop playing checkers. If you want to get at somebody, don't shame them for their stance. Model for them what you want them to mirror and allow them to feel safe in your presence. Because what they will begin to see is, that's a king that I can follow. See, I can't follow you if I feel shamed by you. I can't mirror you if I don't feel safe in you. I can't mirror you if I feel that you are attacking where I am. I'm only where I am based on my lack of information and instruction, here we go again, and based on my traumas. So please don't attack my traumas, right? Watch this. Look at the Dave Chappelle piece, The Closer. I know we all saw it, right? Now we all going, what they so? What's up with y'all? Man, y'all too sensitive, bro. And comedians, they joke about everything. If you are a member of that community and you've been sexually assaulted, or you've been raped, or you actually are a person who did wake up in where your brain and your body are not in alignment. I don't know if you know, if you all know who this is, but Chaz Bono, who was born Chastity Bono, the daughter of Sonny and Cher, transitioned into Chaz Bono, who is now a man. That's my brother, he and I actually went to high school together when he was Chastity. That's my good friend. We often have conversations about manhood. I tell Chaz where to go shop for clothes as a man, because he lives as a heterosexual man with a woman as his partner. He considers himself to be a servant leader. He considers himself to be a man. If he were in front of you, had a conversation with you, and you didn't know who you were talking to, you'd be like, this is a cool white dude. It's a cool white dude with great consciousness about particularly people of color, because we all went to school together. So we all shared stories. So he knows what it is. Not in a pandering way, in a way of great understanding and empathy, and actually is a powerful ally of ours, right? We had a conversation after the whole Closer thing. And that community is mired in great confusion, because interestingly enough, when Dave Chappelle was joking about how even though they're all kind of traveling in the same car, they're not sitting in the same row.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that community is like they're eating away at their own flesh, because they're not all on the same page either. Right? I had a conversation with him because I wanted to gain a deeper understanding of what it is to be a trans person, and why these kinds of jokes would be so hurtful or harmful for certain people. Now, think of it this way. When Dave made a joke about, that wouldn't be funny if I thought I was a Chinese person, but stuck in this like Negro body, like that wouldn't be funny. Like, think of it this way, right? We often think, oh, if you have a different brain and then your body doesn't match your brain, we naturally assume that what we should do is just fix our brain instead of fixing our body, right? So where they're coming from is, no, there's nothing wrong with my brain. My brain is fine. What is wrong is fix my body. Where we come from as heterosexual men, we go, oh, yo, bro, you got a penis, so that must make you a man. But if your brain is a woman, you see where I'm coming from? So they're like, my brain isn't broken, my body is. I'm trying to fix my body to match my brain. When we were in high school, when he was Chastity, he was never comfortable in that girl body. He hated it. In our junior, senior football game that we play in every single year, he was the only girl that played in that game. because he didn't see himself as a girl. His brain was a dude. So he was like, if I fix my body, I'm gonna be good. Because my brain is fine. I think like a guy. If I get a guy's body, I'm gonna be good. So when these jokes land, they land in a different way because those folks have been struggling to gain their identity, and many of them have been shamed out of that experience. So rather than me go, yeah, I don't know what these knuckleheads are so upset about us as a king, as a leader, my job was to gain a deeper understanding and awareness of what that community is going through so that I could have dialogue, so that I can make people feel safe. You feel information and instruction. Why? I want to be armed to be able to speak to another person in that community when the time comes. I'm a builder. I'm not a breaker. So in order for me to be a builder, I need information so that I can properly build. You get me?
Yeah.
Don't shame anybody out of who and what they are. Just gain another level of awareness for the sake of you being a better builder, because you're not a breaker.
Yeah. We appreciate, hey, Dondré, again, I'm gonna echo Derek. Can't get these gems back. I am thankful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just say it's recorded. I am thankful. I put in the chat, I think it's even dope that this, like, we got jump started from this random barbershop conversation about basketball, and now we here. So
yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for this amazing book. If you're out there in social media land, you see I got that sucker tabbed up. It's a lot of gems in there. Go get that Male versus Man. Again, thanks to all the brothers here too as well. I can't say thank you enough for the work you're doing, and the way you model seeking understanding. You know what I mean? In order to, like you said, build. And so we're gonna take that assignment. We're gonna take our assignment, right, gentlemen?
That's all of our assignments, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there and make more kings. But thank you again, Dondré. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Dondré, thank you, man.
Wow, one of the bros I saw come up on the chat was like, nah, we can't be finished yet.
That's our brother from the UK right there. It's like,
I love it. I love it. I love it. See, but look, that proves the point. It proves that we don't have enough information and instruction, and we know that we're not always armed enough for the battles that we know we're engaged in, and that our brothers are dying for the information that allows us to be able to show up the way we need to show up.
Yeah.
Our brothers are dying for that kind of information. And if our sisters knew just how much we do desire to be greater, to be better, and sometimes they think that we don't, because sometimes they don't have the fortune of seeing us as our best selves all the time. They think that it means that we're not doing anything, and that we don't desire to do that. And they couldn't be more wrong. See, they need to be in these rooms to see that brothers are doing exactly that, building themselves for the sake of being builders, because that's what we are. So I love it, man.
Yo, hey, brother, what part of Brooklyn you from?
Bushwick.
I'm from East New York, brother.
There it is. Yes, sir. So you know what it is.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm with the Jefferson on Pennsylvania Avenue, you know.
Listen, my zone high school was Bushwick High School. And I specifically went to Performing Arts High School because I didn't want, like, Bushwick High School was like a vocational high school to learn how to go to prison.
Yes, it still is. No.
I was like, nah, bro, I'm good on that. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I want me a different life. I'm good.
Dondré, thank you so much.
Thank you,
This
man.
has been
Appreciate
great.
it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for
My
your time.
pleasure, brothers.
Appreciate your time and all that you poured into us.
That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Thank
brother.
you,
I want to say thank you too, man. I'm Joaquin, man. I could listen and converse with you all day, brother. I love everything you say, and I love your work too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
I'm a
you,
fan. I love seeing you on the big screen, brother.
I appreciate y'all, fam. That's thank you,
I
man.
appreciate the work you're doing and the love, man. And I can feel your authenticity, man. You know, just bring tears
Yes,
to my
sir.
eyes, man. And wish the best
Eh.
for you, man, on your journey, man. And hope we get to cross paths again, brother.
Likewise, fam. Without a doubt.
And real fast, brother Donald from the UK want to ask. He asked, how can we get you in the UK?
Oh man, no sweat. Can you send? Wait a minute. Let me see here. Who was in contact with my assistant?
No, I got it.
Can you send that brother my assistant's contact?
Yeah.
Her email. Please do that. Done deal, brother Donald. Let's go. I need to build with my kings in the UK too. Let's go.
So Donald, I'll send you that information.
Done deal, Donald. All good. Come on, bro.
We still going? Are we ending? Or